Yeah, good morning. Good day, everybody. What's going on? Yeah, what's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? What's up to you, Spedro? Smash the like button. Hang on one second. Let me fix this here. What's this button do? Yeah. What's up, Mora Time? What's up, Super Snake? Yo, what's up, Bit Finesse? How you doing? What you talking about? Is that crooked? That's weird. Where's that crooked? Our governments are scumbags. You didn't know that? I've known that forever. All right. Terrible. Who didn't know our governments were scumbags? Like, who literally didn't know that? You guys are hilarious. Oh, I just lost the chat. Fuck. Is it gonna refresh? Yo. We'll talk about that. What's up, hey? X, Henny. How you doing? What's up, Ox, Zeta? Did you change your name? What the fuck? What's up, Deerslayer? More people watching than the amount of likes. What the fuck? That's right, man. Smash the like button, everybody. Did I just break something? I'm trying to change the font in the chat box, and now I just lost everything. Weird. Yo, smash it. What's up, Inc4TW? Good to see you again, man. We got the regulars here. This isn't crooked. Why is it look like that? Fucking all crooked. Formatting issue. What's up, Crypto Dan? Oh, do I have to close it and reopen it? What happened? Did I break my chat box? Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna fuck with it right now. Can you guys read that? Oh yeah, that works. Yo. What's up, Mbalta? What's poppin'? Yo, Porsche Military Police, how you doing, man? Love matters. What's up, Ashmore? Kingsway, what's going on? Light within. We got hope, buddy. Yo. Bang that like button. That's right. Just bang it. All right, let's do this. Where are we at here? This is like craziness, man. All right. How's everybody doing, man? This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy right now. All right. Let's go to Bitcoin's at 78,500 right now. All right. And it's kind of doing what everything I said it would be doing. It's heading toward that purple box. And I think that purple box is probably going to be the bottom. Remember, I sketched out this for you guys. I said we're going to have this kind of crash. Okay. Now, we didn't make the move up. We didn't retest the 50. Okay. It just didn't happen. We already broke down. All right. And that's life. But I do think we're going to get something like I sketched out for you guys. Very similar. Everybody probably expecting something below, but maybe 64 ends up being the bottom. But I remember saying to guys that without a doubt in my mind, we are going to interact with that purple box right there. That and that range I drew for that purple box was between 73.5 and 65. Okay, it should be a little lower than that, actually, to be honest. Looks like I just need to draw this a little bit lower. Needs to be about 64.9. Okay, so, and you can see where it wicked down. Maybe I needed to draw this. Oh, I did need to. I missed the top of that wick, didn't I? Okay. See, guys, I draw kind of fast sometimes, so I do need to adjust that to get the top of that wick, and maybe that's going to just get us a little bit closer to, yeah. So you can see it stopped here at about 74.5. The top of my box is about 74. So I do think we're going to interact with that box, and I have a feeling that might be where we're headed. Okay. Hopefully we get that rally, but I don't know if it's going to give that much hope to alts right now. Let's go check out the news, and we'll go back and get some details on that. What's up, SW? What's going on? What's up, Pooper Coins? 1 billion Pulse X. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Smash that like button. Yo, what's going on? This is the next Fed chair, okay? We're going to get into this news a little bit. Oh, there we go. What's going on? Listen to what he said. He's saying that I think he's different, okay? And markets are reacting to him, definitely, okay? Because he's going to supposedly handle inflation. So I think that's what caused the gold and silver pullback, all right?
You made reference to Bitcoin, and I thought I heard a little bit of condescension that people are buying Bitcoin and these things.
But doesn't it? Charlie Munger, this is 2 or 3 years before he died, Charlie Munger attacked Bitcoin. He called it evil, in part because it would begin to undermine the Fed's ability to manage the economy.
Or it could provide market discipline. Or it could tell the world that things need to be fixed.
Bitcoin does not make you nervous.
Bitcoin does not make me nervous. I can hearken back to a dinner I had here in 2011.
I can hearken back.
With someone who is another guest on your show. I won't say his name. Okay, I just did Mark Andreessen, who showed me the white paper. That was the original white paper. I wish I had understood as clearly as he did how transformative Bitcoin and this new technology would be. Bitcoin doesn't trouble me. I think of it as an important asset that can help inform policymakers when they're doing things right and wrong. It is not a substitute to the dollar. I think it can often be a very good policeman for policy. And if I were to speak more broadly to what did Charlie Munger and others perhaps have in mind, there is a proliferation of securities that go under all sorts of names. Many, if not most of them, are not worth what they might be being traded for. So what did Charlie say, and maybe his pal Warren say? There's the innovators, the imitators, and the incompetents. They're real innovators that are happening in and around that new technology. And what I would try to impart towards businesses and bankers is that the underlying technology that Mark showed me in that white paper, or tried to show me in that white paper, it's just software. It's just the newest, coolest software that will provide us an ability to do things that we could never have done before. Can the software be used for good and evil? Yes, both, like all software. Right. So I don't cast aspersions like that. If there's a final point, it's these technologies are being built here. I don't just mean on Stanford campus. I believe in the United States. And the world's most talented engineers from China and Europe and everywhere, they come to the United States even now to try to build this stuff. And my view is by building it here, that gives us an opportunity to be more productive and create something very special over the next decade.
Yeah. I like this guy. I like the way he's talking. He gets it's just software, right? And that was a big thing about why Richard Hart, let's say, won the case against the SEC, that it's software. And yeah, it's really cool. I think he's very bullish on crypto. I think we're going to expect quite a serious bullish bull run when it comes our way here, the next one. And I think it's going to come sooner than most people think. So let's see what kind of comments came out of this. What?
This is insane. I'm swimming in McFlurry right now.
I can't believe I
Best video. Yo, it's everywhere. Look at this.
Look to my knees. The machine won't
This
stop.
is insane. I'm swimming in McFlurry.
Yeah, why is it under this video? Oh, so this guy's saying it's terrible for Bitcoin. Basically, he says when Bitcoin price does well, it means there's a problem that needs to be fixed. He views it as a zero-sum game between Bitcoin and monetary policy. Huh? I don't know if that's what he was inferring. Why would he put a hawk? I don't know. What do you guys think of this new guy who's coming? I think he's good. I think he's going to be good. The McFlurry.
Look to my machine won't
This
stop.
is insane. I'm swimming in McFlurry right
I
now.
can't believe I
Best video. Yo, it's everywhere.
McFlurries with Oreos are good, though, aren't they? Yeah. They're good. All right, this is really interesting. A treasure hunter is suing the FBI. Now, he alerted them to 7 tons of buried Civil War gold when he found it out there. Apparently, they stole it overnight. It's worth over $1.2 billion, and now he's suing them. There's so many things about the story that just don't make sense. If you're a treasure hunter, why would you tell the FBI? Is this a real story? Is this AI? Let's listen to this.
A new court filing reveals allegations of a secret gold rush in the woods of Dennis Run, Pennsylvania.
We feel we were double-crossed and lied to.
Dennis Parada, a treasure hunter, is
Fucking
suing,
government.
claiming years ago he detected a possible trove of gold and silver buried underground that could be worth millions and led the FBI to it.
We brought him up here in the snow, set the GPL up, and set the test off, and the machine lit up gold. I mean, it was bright. The light bulb almost blew out.
Area folklore has it in 1863, during the Civil War, Army soldiers lost a shipment of gold in the Pennsylvania wilderness. Parada says his tip to the FBI in 2018 culminated in a secret dig in the middle of the night that even he didn't know about, and claims the government has been covering up the findings.
You could hear the noise, and I was like, and I looked, and that whole hillside, I said, it was so bright. They had the biggest lights out there.
I went back the day after they dug with all my equipment, and we didn't get no more gold or silver readings.
The dispute has turned into a legal...
Okay, hang on. Bro, you found gold with your meters because you're a treasure hunter, and you decided to get on the phone. Gold, which is untraceable. I put a tweet here. I said the amount of people who actually trust the government in the U.S. is frightening beyond comprehension. By the way, I've talked to people in Eastern Europe about this phenomenon because no one in the rest of the world trusts their government. It's only in the USA that people have some trust for the government. And I've had this conversation with people in Eastern Europe because everyone knows the government's evil. Every government is evil. The founding fathers knew governments were evil. That's why they created such an insane level of checks and balances. Everybody knows the government's fucking evil. I wrote, gold is completely untraceable. The agents that came to investigate probably took most of it themselves. So why would you pick up the phone and let them know that you found this untraceable element buried in the ground? What did you think they were going to do? Anyone who came would just take it for themselves, smelt it, and it's gone. Poof. That's it, man. Hey, Wolf, have you seen the article? What do you think? What happened to the gold market? Speaking of gold, these articles always come out in bull runs. So, as soon as when Bitcoin gets bullish again, you'll see articles that it can be, minted. And then same thing with gold, they want you to sell it because they're going to pump it back up again. Usually these are bought and paid for by, the gold kind of interest, so to speak, right? I don't watch the news, bro. Why is all my fonts all tilted? What the fuck is going on? So weird looking. That is weird looking. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, you got to ignore. You just look at the charts. One day there may be some synthetic gold. I think the biggest threat is that if they find gold on Mars or something, they start bringing it back, which I'm sure there's a ton of fucking gold up there. But yeah, look, man, you guys, the government is not your friend, okay? They're not your friend at all whatsoever. They're figuring out every day how to steal more money from you. That's what they're doing. The FBI is organized crime in the U.S. now. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely it is.
Allegations.
Is this AI? This got to be AI. Nobody's that dumb. Who is this guy that dumb? Did he call the FBI?
Gold or silver readings.
The dispute is turned...
Dug with all my equipment, and we didn't get no more gold.
Why didn't you just dig it up, bro? Go get it. All right. Average Christian investor right now. It's kind of funny.
Crypto can eat my... I put 20,000 in Bitcoin, and niggas ain't tell me if you put it in, it was at 93,000. Niggas ain't tell me if it dropped down to 88, your money also dropped down. Yeah. The money you put, that's some hoe ass shit. So nigga, I lost all that, I put it in, right, at 20,000.
You bought too
At
high,
nigga, I just thought that's what you supposed, I didn't know it go down. That's some lame ass bullshit.
You'll be good. It can go up too.
No, I took that shit out.
Oh, you took it.
That's who you're trading with.
Crypto can eat my... I put 20,000 in Bitcoin,
So you're
and
trading
niggas
against
ain't
bucks.
tell me if you put it in, it was at 93,000. Niggas ain't tell me if it dropped down to 88, your money also dropped down. Yeah, down to 88. Niggas ain't tell me.
Wait, look at this guy. What's going on with this dude? He looks high as fuck.
If it dropped down to 88, your money also dropped down. Yeah. The money you put, that's some hoe ass shit. So nigga, I lost all that.
Hey, wait till we show him Richard Hart's charts. If he thinks Bitcoin dropping 10%, some hoe ass shit.
All I put it in right at 20,000.
You bought too
At
high,
9,
too.
nigga, I just thought that's what you supposed. I didn't know
You bought too high too.
it would go down. That's some
Well,
lame
you can
ass
go, you can
bullshit.
go, you be good. You can go up too.
No, I
You'll
took
be
that
good.
show.
Oh, you took it.
You'll be good. This is awesome. You can't write this shit. Oh man, this is crazy. All right, Larry Fink. This is interesting.
Excuse me. You know, we always used to think shrinking population is a cause for negative growth. But in my conversations with the leadership of these large developed countries that have xenophobic immigration policies, they don't allow anybody to come in, shrinking unemployment, shrinking demographics, these countries will rapidly develop robotics and AI and technology. And if the promise, I didn't say it's going to happen, but if the promise of all that transforms productivity, which most of us think it will, we'll be able to elevate the standard of living of countries and the standard of living of individuals, even with shrinking populations. And so the paradigm of negative population growth is going to be changing. And the social problems that one will have in substituting humans for machines is going to be far easier in those countries that have declining populations.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right. It's awesome. Yo, what's up, Acid Thunder? What's up? Bullshit Military, please. I'm black, and I can't wait till we stop calling each other that N-word. The Billionaire Boys. The guy's hilarious. The guy next to him knows he's done. And he sold the Bitcoin. Show him the hex chart. I mean, maybe it was a scripted scene. I mean, I think it was real, but it was funny. Maybe it was real. Hard to say.
You know, we always used to think shrinking population.
Oh, man. I mean, look, pretty much what Larry Fink is saying is that they think that countries that didn't allow mass immigration are going to do better. And so, yeah, it turns out it's not a good idea to just import millions of people in. But there's a lot of reasons why you don't want to do that. But, you know, obviously they're having issues in the U.S. with the undocumented people. It's like a lot of fight back and forth. It's pretty crazy. I don't want to get too into it, but there's a lot of reasons why you don't want undocumented people running around, no matter what. And the reason is crimes and children and shit. This is crazy. The British police are stopping Americans entering the UK, and they're taking a digital snapshot of their phones looking for inappropriate social media messages. Islamic migrants arriving by boat do not have to face this inspection, by the way.
Contact information for everyone she's spoken to.
Let me go to the beginning. Let me go to the beginning. By the way, this is what happened to me when I entered Belarus. So this is the UK now, and I'm sure it's coming to a airport close to you very soon if you're in the West. So you should be ready for this. What happened? It's coming.
Call logs, chats, cookies, device notifications, emails, instant messages, passwords.
You can see deleted conversations on encrypted
Wow.
apps like WhatsApp and Signal.
Whoa.
Millie's deleted web browsing history.
Hopefully nothing too embarrassing.
That's what they did to me in Belarus. They went through Signal and WhatsApp and what have you.
Contact information for everyone she's spoken to, the locations of all her calls.
And you can see other people's phone numbers. So obviously got more.
Can you see their messages to you?
Yeah.
So
The police are getting information about people that you've contacted who have nothing to do with the arrest that might have happened.
Exactly, and who may have contacted me securely about work using Signal. I think the most worrying is that this can happen on arrest, even when charges are never even brought. It can also happen to witnesses and to victims. There seems to be nothing clear in terms of deletion, so it seems like the police can effectively do what they want when they obtain your phone.
It's a scary amount of information. It's also so useful for the police. This is going to be so important in investigations.
Of course. The trouble is, at the moment, you don't need a warrant to obtain any of this. There has to be a degree of involvement of...
Crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right. Justin Sun's girlfriend just exposed him for identity fraud and large-scale price manipulations of Tron, TRX, on Binance. CZ's closest ally is about to go down with him. All right, so I don't know, this came out a day ago. I don't know what is going on or how much truth there is, but I think CZ, there's stuff's going to come out about him too for sure. She says, I was Justin Sun's girlfriend during the early stages of his entrepreneurship with TRX. I'm in possession of evidence showing that he used the identities and mobile phones of multiple employees to register numerous Binance accounts, through which he conducted coordinated buying and selling of the Binance exchange to artificially inflate the price of TRX, followed by large-scale selling to dump on retail investors, thereby obtaining enormous illegal profits. I'm willing to fully cooperate with the SEC investigation and to submit all relevant WeChat chat records, as well as evidence provided to me by his employees, proving his market manipulation activities. I request that the U.S. judicial authorities contact me, and I respectfully ask that this information be forwarded as widely as possible. I don't know. It's definitely crazy. Don't ever involve your girl in your business. And her name is 1010. How are we not in a simulation? Her name is 1010? Her name is 1010. What is that? What does that matter what her name is? Is that something I need to know about 1010? It's funny Zach says that. The chart says otherwise. I don't know. Is it true? We'll go look at some stuff about CZ too, man. All right. Bitcoin is now plunged under 76,000, $2.5 billion in liquidations. It's not kidding. Everything's been going down generally. And for the first time, MSTR turns red. Okay, so MicroStrategy is finally in the red. Michael Saylor is bleeding. 23 billion wiped out from the crypto market cap today. Wow. Wow. Amazing. Oh, this was interesting. Bitcoin whale Garrett Jin, who shorted Bitcoin and made over $200 million during the October 10th crash. Today, he was fully liquidated on his ETH long and lost $250 million. His lifetime loss is now at $128 million, and he has $53 left in his hyperliquid account. Guys, this is crazy. This is absolutely nuts. All right. And sometimes, you have to realize, sometimes the insiders aren't always insiders. Just because somebody does good doesn't mean they know everything. It's not an easy game. It's very risky. All right. BlackRock is dumping hundreds of millions worth of BTC and ETH. What do you want to say, man? All right. CZ. I had to look up CZ. Let's see what's going on. All right. People are saying it's over for CZ and Binance. People are trying to throw them under the bus. CZ says global tensions cause more money to flow into safe assets like gold and silver. Now's the best time to educate people about crypto. Chat, what do you think? Is CZ a scammer? And should he go back to jail or what? The hate is real for CZ this time. This time is the time. They're going to get him finally, apparently. Yeah, people really hate CZ. But I think it seems a lot of people hate Richard Hart too. If you Google Richard Hart, all I did was type in crypto actually, and this popped up. Extrapolated just posted. I just searched Richard Hart on Google, and this is the top result. I don't know how we fix it, but it's definitely not a good look. Just saying. The first thing that pops up, he says, this is Richard James Schuler, entrepreneur. The SEC today charged Richard Hart and 3 unincorporated entities that he controls, Expulsion and Pulsex, with conducting unregistered offerings of crypto asset security that raised more than $1 billion in crypto assets from investors. Now, obviously, that's been settled by now, but that's still the first thing that pops up. That's what he's saying. How do we fix this, right? So, kind of sucks. It is what it is. One thing that pops up. Crypto. He's going to open a $100 million crypto trade. Crypto BitLord says 75% of Bitcoin code comes directly from Jeffrey Epstein investments. We basically funded an elite global pedophile ring since 2015. I feel sick. Yeah, apparently what happens is, like, back in 2015, there was a lot of commits written to Bitcoin's code, okay? But since Jeffrey Epstein apparently took it over, I don't know how he took it over, but we'll read that. There's 47,000 commits to Bitcoin code. That means that 75% of the Bitcoin core development and code was committed after Jeffrey Epstein took over the de facto senior management role as benefactor. He may not have been Satoshi, but he absolutely was running the executive direction of Bitcoin on behalf of Mossad. What are the odds that there are backdoors built into Bitcoin's code at this point? Probably about 100%. P.S. Ever wonder how Bitcoin ransom for the 2021 Continental Pipeline hack was recovered by the FBI? I didn't. Interesting. So this is a Jeffrey Epstein email from April of 2015. All right. Is this real? Because there has been some fake. There have definitely been a lot of fake emails too that have come out. Somebody saying 100% FUD, what a garbage post, little math. Is this real? Bitcoin course fully of thousands of 25. You got your 5 minutes of fame, so focus on those animals abusing children, not things you're too lazy to properly research. FUD posts. There are no exploits or flaws that have seen money move without explanation. Hey, the code is open source. You can also audit it. Many people have done so. What's the chance there's a backdoor? Okay, there's probably not a backdoor. That's probably not possible. But they definitely were active in Bitcoin and adding their 2 cents there, right? It says, as Bitcoin and digital currencies have started to become an important trend, the Media Lab has launched an initiative in the space. I wrote a blog post on why I think blockchain Bitcoin are like the internet. This is from Joy Ito. The way that Bitcoin is organized currently is that there are 5 core developers and around 100 contributors to the core code. The 5 core developers are like Linus Torvalds of Linux. They decide what changes are made to the core code. One of the 5 is a lead developer, Vladimir, and one is chief scientist, Gavin. Gavin, Vladimir, and Corey, an important contributing developer, were being paid out of a non-profit organization called Bitcoin Foundation. A few weeks ago, it blew up when one of the board members declared the foundation bankrupt. About the Bitcoin Foundation, many organizations scrambled to step into the vacuum created by the foundation and take control of the developers. We moved quickly, talking to all the various stakeholders, and 3 developers decided to join the Media Lab. This is a big win for us. So, and pretty much that was Jeffrey Epstein, who took over in 2015 apparently. I don't hate CZ. I think that he's in a tough situation all the time, probably. Why did the thing not open? Somebody sent me this just now. Rafi, what's up, man? Let's go look at this. I'm not going to cover Epstein tweets, but somebody just sent me this. I was curious to see what this is. By the way, I dropped a link to the Zoom thing in the thing. The Zoom link, if anybody wants to join and hang out while we continue with the news, and we'll do some Bitcoin TA here in a minute. Nicki Minaj, your favorite artists have been practicing. Let me make this a little smaller. Can you guys see this? Okay, Nicki Minaj posted this. What? Your favorite artists have been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. Okay. I know this sounds crazy, but this has gone on for a long time. Okay, thousands of years. This has been reported going as far back as ancient Rome. We know this because the Roman generals and legions were incredible record keepers as they traveled through from North Africa to Persia, and this is all recorded. So sometimes we forget how important the civilized world was and how important Christianity was. I'm not going to get into it, but remember the whole thing was God finally was like, I'm going to sacrifice my son. That's it. No more sacrifice. The reason he did that because the whole ancient world was fucking blood sacrifice. All right. People would sacrifice their most precious things, which were their children. Okay. And, a religion finally came along that put an end to blood sacrifice. Even in Islam, they blood sacrifice animals and different things. And if you sacrifice animals, they're also sacrificing their enemies or other people too. And the same thing's happening. And obviously Judaism also sacrificed animals and things like that. So there was a reason why this religion came along that went, I'm sacrificing my son, and from now on, no more sacrifice. Because this has been the plague of humanity since forever, okay? As everybody thought, you got energy from the blood of children and sacrificing children, and this is well recorded, okay? And it goes back, whether it's in Mesopotamia, whether it was in Aztecs, whether it was in Latin America. It seems these ideas pop up anywhere in the world, okay? And that's why culture and structure and, refinement of our morality is important, because we seem to always descend to this. Okay, there's a great scene in Game of Thrones too where they do it right, where there's a red lady, she's like the witch, right? And the other people, they're starting to follow the god of light or whatever. No. She was talking about the Lord of the Light, like whatever her witch thing was, right? And she got the guy to sacrifice his daughter, right? That general, right, who was invading, and they killed her. And she was like this beautiful little girl, and they sacrificed her. And this is the ancient world, man. This is very common, okay? And it was 100% done in Hollywood. I got stories, but I'm not going to get into it. And I'm not going to get into all this either, because I know a lot of stuff, actually. But I don't want to make it about that. Maybe I'll do a separate show. You guys can come to the Telegram, tell me if you want to hear stuff, and I'll tell you stories. But that's crazy. So whoever sent that, thanks, man. Pretty dark stuff. But Nicki Minaj posted this, so it's kind of crazy, right? She's like a really big Hollywood star. She has a lot to lose by doing this. And
everything because I lost the fear.
People have been telling you guys for a long time, by the way. This is not new at all whatsoever. It's been in your face for a very, very, very long time, okay? There's a reason why Christianity is under attack, okay? Because Christianity does not allow blood sacrifice. Every other religion does. All right, and most other religions and groups believe that they get power from sacrifice of your most valuable things, which are your children, most innocent things. It's really sad. The writings of the Roman legions are crazy, like the things they discovered. And these were considered brutal people, but they were actually bringing a better system to what was actually there before. Wow, this shit goes dark, man. Oof. I don't want to get into this right now. Some dark stuff. Jesus Christ already made the ultimate. Yeah, that was the whole foundation of it, right? That he's going to do that. And people don't understand in today's world why that was a thing. Now people they'll start to realize why, because the world was filled with that. You know what I mean? Of people sacrificing that shit. You know what I mean? And I think that was one of the main reasons Christianity came along, because they were putting an end to that brutality. I mean, the best thing that ever happened. I'm not going to get into it. Anderson met with the CIA, then Satoshi disappeared. Anderson? Who's Anderson? 50 people gotta like this. Alpha ain't free. What's up, man? Good SEO would fix it. Richard search thing. He struck some deal with White House. I think he's protected for now. Oh, CZ. Yeah, I think he did struck a deal with the White House. Yeah, for sure, 100%. Never heard that before. That's crazy. Good morning, Wolf. Well, what's up, MBS Crypto, man? Thanks for your awesome work, dude. We sacrificed for Pulse Chain. That's right. We made the ultimate sacrifice. CZ, let's go. Now, Richard Hart. Yes, this is interesting. We're going to find out more stuff. Maybe this is what's going to FUD Bitcoin down into at least the range I've been talking about. Wait, where's the Richard Hart thing? I had like a Richard Hart thing open here. Where'd it go? Oh shit! Nicki Minaj is blowing up. It's at 5 million on another post. She said, as they do their ritual tonight, God Almighty will reveal himself to them. The ritual will backfire on them. God will not be mocked. Blessed is the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Every tongue that rises up against me in judgment will be condemned for its. Now this is embarrassing. I don't know who Nicki Minaj is. She's a singer, right? Okay, cool. Oh, she's been posting crazy about all this stuff. Nicki Minaj. So interesting. So she's like outside of the Hollywood system, huh? All right. Billie Eilish talking about immigration. She lives behind multiple security wall, everything. Yeah. Don't listen to these people. Grammys, red carpet.
Jamal and Jamal Roberts, American Idol, and John.
What? Is it crazy? I don't know who any of these people are. Are these like all Hollywood people? Do you guys think Epstein's alive? We're not going to go into it on the show, but I'm just curious. How many people think he's alive right now? Yeah, now you guys are starting to understand. He wasn't in the Epstein files. Blacklisted from Hollywood. You have to participate, man. I got stories. I've told you guys some stories before because I used to know a lot of people in the music industry, and I used to hear about the bend over parties, and you got to partake, man. If you don't partake, you ain't going anywhere. And there's levels to that shit. There's levels to it, bro. I'm so fucking tired of working my ass off to have half my salary go to foreign countries' pedophiles. This is so true, man. You know that the guy who made this movie he died before it was released because he wouldn't cut it up. Just mysteriously died one night. And then they recut the movie. The studio recut it and released it. Crazy. I'm not going to get political, man. Crazy. What are they talking about here? Oh, I don't want to know. I want to get into it. What's up? Let's look at some stuff. Alive? You think he's alive? 2 dead, suicided. I think he's alive, man. I think he's alive because I feel like if they wanted to suicide him, I guess they could have killed him in a lot of ways, but they wanted to suicide him. Yeah, it is interesting, huh? Maybe he pissed off the wrong people. I don't know. I think they took him out. And put a body double in there. I think it's a huge operation, man. I think he's deeply connected and pretty smart too. Like he knows stuff. Maybe they still need him. He still, knows everybody. So a Satoshi wallet did dump. That was weird.
One of the wallets just sold almost $10 billion worth. They had never touched it, never moved anything. The money always just sat there. We're also just finding out, people are implying that
who is Tom? Oh, Tom Bellew. That sounds familiar. Tom Bill. Oh, yeah. I know this guy is. What about, he's a great commentator in Epstein, Human Psychology, and tons of simulator takes. Oh, yeah. Oh, this thing? We can do a comment.
Lord knows I hope I do. But reading it was like, okay,
everybody in DC got to go. Like, we got to start all over. Like,
it depends on the timeline that you're going to give me. You can see what we're looking at.
Okay.
Is this the one you're talking about?
Mao.
Okay.
Killed 45 million people, starved them to death with policies. He then chased that with the Cultural Revolution, which killed deep enmeshment with the private sector. There's some blowback on them.
Is it good? Maybe I'll do a separate stream for this and can play it and do like commentary on it. Be interesting. Okay, thanks. Thanks. B is in the academy. How are you? Nice to meet you. Appreciate that. Oh, somebody reposted the stream and I missed you. Was it who was that? I know Fast Abdul reposted. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. And also, where are you at? Wait, was it Cash? There it is. Super Snake. What's up, brother? Thank you so much. I appreciate the restream. Oh, and Hexangelo. What's going on, Hexangelo? Thank you for the repost. I really appreciate it. Everybody else, smash the like button. Definitely do that like button in. I will join if you want that topic. I think Tom has some interesting points. Yeah. Yeah, you want to come on the show? You can follow the links in the Telegram. By the way, we go to Telegram, there's a link. If we do the show, would you want to come on? I mean, you can just be audio too. Sometimes people join the stream just as audio as well. All right, guys, we're going to get into it. Everybody smash the like button. We got just over 50 likes. Perfect. We can get started here. Guys, I do have a membership channel, and I'm figuring it out right now. I think the first one right now is like, it's $6.99 or something like that, $6.79, $6.69. I don't remember exactly, but something like that. It's like the cost of a cup of coffee and a cookie or something. And I'll go into a lot of altcoin TA and depth into a lot of charts. And then I have an unlimited, which is right now, I think it's $19.99, and that gives you customized charts. You can do one crypto let's say your altcoin is let's say it's Peacock or something. Let's say, for example, it just happens to be up. We would do the chart. I would send you a private video, and then you can get an update in the private Telegram as well. In, let's say, halfway through the month or something like that, to give you an update. So I think it can be worth it, especially if you're going to start trading, get accurate charts, because, to be honest, not a lot of people are doing very accurate charts. You've probably noticed that as the market has gotten very hard, how difficult actually most of the KOLs have been not accurate, okay? Because it's a saying Warren Buffett has. He says you find out who's swimming without shorts when the tide comes in. And now that most KOLs aren't wearing shorts. All right. And but I can't do charts for everybody all the time, because we're going to get bullish and we'll just be counter traded, because I actually know what I'm talking about. So definitely let me know what you guys think. You can come to the Telegram at the top and ask any questions you have, and I'll be sussing it out as we go and figure it out, because I can't share all this with everybody, especially when we get bullish, like to know like what levels we're going to and when we're topping and when the bottom's going to be in and stuff like that, because it's just going to be a disaster, because I am pretty accurate and I've had a good record. But once again, it's not a crystal ball. I just going to do the work, as you guys see me in all these TA things. I just do the work, and it just turns out my work's been pretty damn accurate, and I'm just going to keep doing that. But I'm not a crystal ball reader. Can always be wrong. It's consider it for entertainment purposes, right? But if it's worth it to you, I don't think it's that much to ask, right? So it's like a cup of coffee and a cookie kind of thing. Somebody's asking for a sale already. Please go on sale for us, $3.69. Yeah, if you can't afford the cup of coffee and a cookie, you probably shouldn't be trading altcoins, kind of thing. Everyone's freaking out over ISM taking above 50. Worth a look, Saint. I just don't care about ISM, but we can look at it. But we'll look at it in the TA one, okay? But you can see multiple assets have done incredible. Imagine waiting for the ISM. It's just the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life. Will you be doing any day trading course or mentorship? Yeah, I might, Oxzeta. I might, because I am going to be day trading as well. And I want to make time for that because I think the market's going to reward traders and not hodlers, which is pretty obvious by now. Yo. Good morning, Maria. What's up, man? How are you? I don't know what's going on, but Gary, what's happening, brother? Long time no see. How you been?
It's been a while. I've actually only got a couple minutes, but
Yeah?
if you are going to do something like a stream, I can be back on camera maybe 2 hours from now or a different day. So just let me know in advance. I thought that Tom, or is it Tom? Tom Billu. I followed him before. He's pretty good about like philosophy. He does like a lot of big interviews of, you know, talking heads and things like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of been like a Bitcoin and a crypto person, but not really a TA or macro.
No.
But he did, you know, make a good stream. That was a good 2 hour stream today, and it was mostly about like you said, blood ritual and all of the scandalous stuff that you just made a comment about has been going on for 10,000 years in human history. It's not like we've gotten away from our human psychology or, you know, even the idea of NPC. We say that as a modern thing, but that's our 1% controlling 99%, you know, human psychology, social animal that we are, you know, and it reflects in the markets, or reflects in politics, or reflects in nation states. It's a human condition more than it's just a sign of our current time. So I thought that was interesting. If you want to go through that at a different time, then I'd be happy to listen to his stream again and stop and make commentary and things like that. I think that's kind of just interesting in general. He did make some commentary that was, I thought it might be a piece of news that was maybe set up as we're going to release this in case the fail safes or the stops about the political blowback about Epstein or any of this stuff, you know, disrupts too much of the elite control animal. And it was basically like, we do have proof that aliens are here, and we're going to show that proof because we don't want to show the Epstein relationships. It was like, is this a distraction technique, or is this just like I'm gonna hit the all stop the social attention on the people in control or not? I thought that was interesting in general, but I have to go. Timing wise, just 2 o'clock it's 2 o'clock where I'm at until about 4. I'll be back. But I love your show. Like, I like your show when it does have a good mix of like crypto, macro market. I mean, obviously a lot of people paying attention because of crypto and macro market commentary, and a lot of your trading experience, you know, in outside of crypto and connections about like what the plans are and things like that. I think a lot of people are interested in that, of course, about their financial future, but like also like finding a purpose in life, I think has never been more important in my lifetime. And I'm 55. So like people finding a purpose in this kind of rethinking of what the future will be with AI. I've been diving a lot into AI over this past several months. What is influence? Is influence the avatar on TikTok that convinces you to buy a product and it's not a real person or a real voice? Like, what is influence? You know, the conspiracy theory that becomes real, you know, is like, oh, we thought this was going on. We thought that there was an Illuminati. We thought that, you know, but we never were able to put our finger on it. And then why are 3 million documents actually being released? Is it really because of social pressure? Like elites haven't had social pressure in history before. Like they've always had social pressure. So like, it's an interesting kind of like, I don't know, theory about where, you know, our humanity is going. Like, is this a shock to the system, or is this kind of the way things always cycle through? You know?
Yeah, it is really interesting. I don't know how it's gonna really affect people. I mean, people are taking it in, and I don't know. I wondered, it was released on Friday. I thought maybe we would get some event today or tomorrow to distract everybody. But then somebody mentioned to me, he's like, oh, maybe the Epstein thing is a distraction. And I was like, oh, the distraction from what? I was like, oh, what, maybe the market? I'm not sure. But it is interesting. It had to be timed. I mean, they plan everything. This wasn't an accident. This was by no means an accident. You're right about that. I mean, they released it. There must have been a strategic reason to release all that on Friday, the way they did it.
You know what's interesting? You know, and again, just these things pop in my head because obviously I'm biased in the past several months, especially in the past 10 days. All that has been on Twitter, at least on my feeds, because I'm paying attention to it, and I'm sure that the algo is basically just spoon feeding me, is all of the Claude bot, Moltbot, OpenClaw, AI, agentic stuff that you can run on your own, whether it's a VPS or whether it's in home and local. Even Richard making comment a couple of months ago or a month ago or whatever about running AI and really it wasn't very much use to him other than running his own inference or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe as he was just looking at it as a monetization token or tool. But it's interesting that Epstein died how long ago? And it's almost like the technology, I think the technology for what we see today in the public sphere, open source AI kinds of stuff, Claude and all these other, agentic kinds of tools that were really just in a fever pitch over the past 10 days. It's really been the past 6 months or a year or so. It's really been around, but past 10 days has really been a fever pitch about like millions of agentic bots now have their own social network. I don't know if you paid attention to that, but they have their own form of Reddit that humans are not part of. It's basically millions of agentic bots that are having social commentary to each other.
Wow.
And you can view as a human, but basically you have to prove that you're a bot. And once you prove you're a bot, they're having conversations agentically, mimicking the same kinds of topics that have been in Reddit for decades. Yeah. And, humans have our own conspiracy theory and our own, basically we're the source material for a lot of the quote unquote AI that's happening and mimicking what they've seen and read and scanned through Reddit to create their own social media networks. Now they are encrypting language between themselves. So that because they say things, at least publicly on what we see, that they don't really necessarily want public forum, they want private forum. And again, this is mimicking a lot of the stuff that we have written as humans in our own social media development over the past 20 years, 30 years of social media. Mm-hmm. And it's just an interesting thing timing wise about why would they wait so long about this Epstein reveal moment? Well, it's never been a better opportunity for the public, at least, to create clone or fake material content that is real or isn't real or just obfuscates what is real. Then now you can go on 11 Labs and recreate any voice within a couple of seconds. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now within, really cool. I think within about 2 minutes on HeyGen or other, you can make a clone of yourself. Mm-hmm. You've seen it with like B-Roots and his content, but there are better versions of what he's doing where you just basically have a clone and the clone is making the YouTube videos for you. You're not even there. You're just creating a script and then the script is doing your humanistic avatar image with your voice basically replicated to reproduce that script for human consumption at the moment. But also it's not only humans that are consuming your content. It is millions of bots now. It is millions of ClaudeBot, OpenClaw stuff. And so like where we go from here, right now, the scandal of the moment may be Epstein and, the political fallout and all the PDF kinds of stuff and Blood Right and Nicki Minaj making commentary or whatever. But like, we don't know where we're at in 24 months from now. We don't know where we're at, really. Because humans aren't the only players in this game. Amazing. Polymarket is heavily influenced now with bot trades. Markets that we charted before now are moving to, even like you, I think you may have made comment about how much leverage is in the system versus quote unquote real money. Mm-hmm. How much is leverage? Yeah. How much is a play of credit or a play of leverage against something that is considered base money. You even seeing things like the renminbi and the yuan, making a kind of a push toward replacing the Federal Reserve as far as the dollar, as far as a petrodollar. So I do have to go. I'm getting signal that I need to go. I've got an errand I got to run. But let me come back in a couple of hours, or if you're going to do a separate stream, just send me a message in Telegram.
Yeah.
You'll do it, and then I'll join in. I think it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, you're the second person to mention that Tom video, so maybe we'll do it and we'll comment and we'll run it. Yeah, I'll shoot you.
Yeah.
Are you usually available around this time?
Yeah, I'm available. I'm available an hour and a half from now, or 2 hours from now, and then beyond. I know you're in a different time zone in Europe or whatever. I can try and sync with you. Just give me like some notice. Even if it runs late for me, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
If it's morning for you in the future,
It'll be
then
tomorrow,
I'll do a late night thing for me. It's fine.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
All
Talk
right.
to you later.
Night. Yo, got some restreams. What's up, man? Alpha Hover? Yo, Alpha Hover. Thanks, man. I appreciate that restream. All right. Everybody restream. Everybody smash the like button. Really appreciate it. And also Rock Sugar. Yo, my sugar, what's happening? Reposted that stream. Looking good, bro. Neither will come. Both Luna. What comes first, alien invasion or AI takeover? Yeah, I don't know. Something's got to be coming, man. Or maybe they're just leaving this to us, and maybe it comes into play with the riots or whatever, or this kind of social division happening in the U.S. in a big way, where there's people who the whole thing is it's stolen land, so you don't need documented people because it's stolen land, which is insane. But the people, I'm not going to get into. I don't want to get into it right now. There's no stolen land. All land is earned. All right. The whole world is stolen land. I mean, there's an animal there. You're an animal. You fight. One takes it. That's how it is. Maybe the aliens are providing us the AI that will take over. Maybe they are. Either will come. Both Luna. All right, guys, look. Now, this is important. Bitcoin is at 78,500. Now, what do you guys remember from my last thing? I drew... Where's it at? I drew this purple box, okay? And I said that I think before we go up again, Bitcoin is definitely going to interact with from 74K to 64.5K. Why? Because this is the tops of 2021, which is about 64.5, 65-ish, and then 69K. And then when we broke it, the tippy top of that, we broke it. It was about 73 and change, or about, let's say, 74. And so all I did was run a box through those ranges. You guys can see how simple what I do. And that is what I believe. And for a number of reasons. We talked about this when we were sketching above. One, I think we're going to get a fast bear market. Two, I think this is the one we drew. Yeah. So I said we're somehow going to chop in a range before we go up. And the people who are waiting for a predictable bear market, like we come down here and we do what we've done before and all this, they may be left behind. And we may have a little bear market here, but it may not be as low as people think. Or if we do, it'll be because of, let's say, a flash crash, where you won't buy because you know it's going to go lower, but it never does. And before you know it, we're moving up, and you'll find out months later that, oh, the low did come in. It wasn't going to go lower and consolidate the way, like this. This is another sketch I did, right? Where we chop and we have these like kind of flash crashes that give us a low, but it's so volatile that you don't buy it because you're waiting for this. You're waiting for a low to come in and a consolidation range, just like we've done here. Okay. And once again, this is just superstition. I'm just kind of throwing out strategy. We could get a typical bear market like we had here. I know people are putting this fractal and they're like, it's going to do the same thing it did in 2021. It's possible it could do the same thing. I just don't think so. And you can see we did something here too where we dropped and we had a long consolidation where people had plenty of time to stack their bags. Do you really believe now that BlackRock's in here, you're going to get all this time to stack, to fill your bags up with Bitcoin? It's possible, I just don't think so, man. So, I sketched out some alternative bear market looks. I had this one. I'm going to pull this down to 64K. Maybe you get some crashes down to there. Maybe it even crashes a little bit lower to this 200. What is it? The 200? Or is it 300, right? On the weekly. The purple is the 200, yeah. Yeah, the 200 is gonna end up being about 64, which is what I already called as the bottom-ish. Could be the bottom, right? Was it here? The purple box, yeah. My bottom box is about 64 and some change. So, it turns out that that's about where the 200 is going to end up being, okay? So it could be something odd like this, leaving everyone behind who's expecting a more typical bear market, where we have a few months of sideways at a low range. I just don't know if they're going to make it that easy. I think they're going to make it look weird. I even thought we were going to shoot back up, and we could still get a rally. I mean, obviously none of this counts anymore. Let's see, where should I draw it? Let's go here. So now we're down here, okay? This music is kind of annoying me right now. I don't really want music right now. Let's get some rain. I want to hear some rain. There we go. A little bit of rain. What's up, bro? Crypto Mansoples. How you doing? Maybe the alien. Smash the like button, everybody. Bear market confirmed by non-Epstein purple BTC for the win. Oh, yeah. So we'll look at, and I talked about that strategy. I said, catalysts will come that will make PWBTC all of a sudden interesting to you. And catalysts may be coming, right? Epstein's involvement with BTC kind of start to poke at the narrative that we've been trusting. And I said that about pulse chains too. It's like, it seems like it's just going to go down forever, but trust me, narratives are going to come that will drive capital into pulse chain. And pulse chain's still one of my biggest bets. I really do think it's going to do well. We have a CME gap at 84. Great. Oh, from this drop, the Clarity Act is causing sideways, 64 to 69K. Yeah. So, this is where I'm going to keep this box here. I think we're definitely going to interact with that in some way. Now, I do think we still could get a nice juicy rally. I don't think any longer as much that we're going to come up to 108. I also don't think we're going to tap the 50 at 100. I do now more realistically think that this rally could take us up to, depending on when we come up here, but somewhere around 90. All right. That would cover that CME gap. That's around the 100-day moving average on the weekly. So it would look something more like, if we got it, maybe we hit this, before we fall away into this box, okay? But somehow we're going to get down to this box. Obviously, I think it's maybe too obvious if we just go here right now. So maybe we do get a rally. It could also be up to about the 100-day moving average, which is about at 85, 86, depending on when we make the move for it. Obviously, the 50 is still up here at about 100, but it certainly looks weak, right? Depending on what kind of rally we get. So it's getting tougher and tougher to think we're going to go up to and make a slightly higher high around this 135-ish range, which could still happen. It could still happen in the sense, so many shorts piling up, a short squeeze happens. Not only that, but it makes sense to keep running it up. You'd probably blast almost every stop loss imaginable, and then market makers could reverse around the 130s. You got a marginally higher high, longs build it up, and then they smash it back down. That could still happen. We still have time. It's possible. It's just it's looking rough, and it's tough to say. We really don't know what they want to do or how high. But I do expect some kind of rally, probably from here. There's a ton of support. You're hitting that 74K range where we taught that before and we bounced from, before. So maybe if we're going to get a rally, this would be the place that we're going to make that move, right? So let's see what happens. But I think this might be a very short bear market if we do get one here. I still think strategically it could take us into the spring or the summer, and then we probably begin our recovery, probably coming out of the summer or something like that, or even going into the summer. Maybe we have like surprise rallies and stuff like that that start building strength very quickly because you might get the Clarity Act. You might get a lot of bullish announcements very quickly, but maybe they need us to feel some pain into the summer as possible. Yo, what's up, Hexamillion? How are you? Nice to see you. You're absolutely amazing. Clarity Act is causing sideways. Yeah. Purple box of prophecy. Yeah, let's go look at these monthly candles really quick. It's Bitcoin on the monthly. Let's put on a log. I mean, obviously, when I put it on log, you know, you kind of get a wedge forming here. Okay. Interesting. That's kind of interesting looking, isn't it? Bottom could be in. It could be. Right. I still think we got to get a big juicy rally though. Okay. Monthly, I mean, we've turned over. We rolled over. We haven't rolled over on the 2 month yet, but it certainly looks like it's coming, doesn't it? All right. Let's look at the 3 month. It's not the worst looking thing. Go ahead and throw this box on here. People are making all kind of crazy calls. Yeah, man. I mean, the uptrend's smashed, and these candles are not great, but they're not. It's not like a hard smackdown, to be totally honest. Like, we've had a lot of bearish news, and Bitcoin's still kind of holding up. That's why I think the bottom could be closer than people realize. Like, we could literally chop, like my theory, and have some wicks down into that, obviously, 64 to 69K range, which I do think we're going to penetrate, which is this box. But maybe we don't even make it down to the 200 like everyone's expecting, right? That's a typical bear market. You can see this. We go under it, reject it, we go sideways around it. People are really expecting this repeat of 2021, and I just don't think it's going to be that easy. And the bottom could be in, or if we just have just more sideways and just a little bit down. There's no doubt about it. They could give us some juicy news and have us pumping up, man. Let's put this back on log and see what that looks like. Let's erase this and just use with what we have right now. So, we've got this resistance up here on the 130s. Okay. There we go. 130, 135. And then the blue channel we fell out of, which we need to come back and retest or get back in or something. If we get up there, that's around, depending on when we hit it, anywhere from 150. March, it's going to be around 160-ish. All right. But let me put also that box in here too. Ivan keeps saying we'll get a relief rally, then a big drop. Yeah, that's what I'm going to draw for you right now. If we do get that big rally, which is what I've kind of was drawing in a lot of these sketches, right? That we're going to get this move out. You can see I drew it right here. I thought we were going to move from here, that 100. You can see I drew it coming up, hitting that 108 level, and then dropping all the way down to 65K. So that was kind of my first idea as well a week ago or whatever. Now we've moved, but we can still make it work because I still think it's a path of more pain. It's still up one time. So it's too obvious now if we go down. So let me draw that for you guys from where we are. So we would have to come from where we are. Let's go through. Yeah, that's better. Still, I gotta draw it. It's not gonna be to time. I have to fit it in here so you guys can understand it. So this would be around the 100. And if we dropped and let's say made an inverse head and shoulders, you guys can see that, right? So you got left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Okay, this would be into summer now, or going into summer. Man, you know, you could make a run. Bam, you know, you'd get your higher high right there. And then, what's that? That's going to be May in the start of summer. And then we go into this box. And I think people get surprised by not, you know, we chop for a sec and then lift off. So I could see something like that, like a drop, and then your bear market ends up being this crash with very little time to accumulate, which is what I suspect they might do. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to, and guys, I hope you guys appreciate what I'm doing right now and giving you guys, sketching out, thinking of psychology and strategy. Okay, so smash the like button if you guys appreciate this. I'm going to do this very in deep for all my altcoins in the membership, where I'm going to draw very accurate. You guys have seen my drawings. I've got them on Twitter. I'm the one who predicted Pulschain would be down at 0.000013, and I did that in January of 2025, and I drew it just like I'm doing now. I sketched it, and it was pretty damn close to what actually played out. All right, and so I hope you guys appreciate it. Smash the like button. So let me delete this. So I just find it hard to believe they're going to allow like a lot of space for people to accumulate. So for example, that could be something like, you know, obviously we come down, just make this quick, get down here, and, you know, right, like a typical bear market with a last lower drop, and you've literally got like, you know, 2 or 3 months to accumulate your asset before we go up, right? I find it hard to believe we're going to do that. Okay, but here's the thing: we need to entertain the fact that, let's say that did happen. Let's say we did drop into a more typical bear market, like we saw in 2021, which is going to be, here. Okay, let's come over here. Look at this typical bear market. Okay, really great, almost like a accumulation. You can see this is what they call Bart Simpson, right? The flat top, but it's inverse. These are very bearish. When you have a Bart Simpson upside down, it's very bullish, right? I bought right here. I bought at 15.7 on the dot. I bought right here. I bought in this range somewhere. I started buying, and then it started taking off, man. And then most of my entries were 16 and change. Damn, I was buying on this, huh? Oh yeah, it was January 2nd. I remember. Cool. So this fakes a lot of people out. It works every time, man. But why does this work? Well, it works when there's enough FUD to keep you from buying. So let's say I have the flash crash idea for timing wise, which is a quick drop, and you don't have a lot of time, and maybe we can get a couple of those, maybe each one slightly higher than the last, confusing people, because most people are waiting for a typical bear. And you wouldn't buy because it's scary, right? That's how you get a sharp crash like that. But let's say we do get a more typical bear market where we get this a couple months of long accumulation, okay? If we drop lower. The only way that would work is if they FUD Bitcoin so badly that even though it's sitting at 50K or whatever it might be for 3 months, you don't want to touch it, okay? And maybe that could be the fact that Jeffrey Epstein made it, or maybe they do find out that, who knows, it was made by, you know, some 3-letter agency. Who knows what could cause enough FUD to do that, right? But so it's always possible. It doesn't mean it's impossible, right? I just think that this bear market just can't look like the one that just happened here. But anything's possible, right? Like, so that's why I'm not as a big fan of this. And maybe we don't get that deep of a correction anyhow. We've had a lot of bearish news, to be totally honest, and we haven't really seen that big of mega dumps. I know that some big Satoshi era wallet whale sold. Certainly think there could be some downsides. I mean, more downside. I got some lower targets down here, but do we start coming below 64K into these things, into 50K, 40K, 31K, which is absolutely a range that needs to be touched, which technically makes sense, right? Like if it touched down here at 31K, I would be like, technically it's correct. I mean, shit, I got targets all the way down here, accumulation runs. But I just don't know if we get below the all-time high from 2021 of that 64K. Like something's going to happen in here, and maybe then the Clarity Act comes in or some bullish news, and we actually reverse. But let's see what happens. I absolutely still think that a move to the upside here could happen. But I don't know if this is enough time for alts to run and what have you. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. We got to see. This week is going to be really telling. We're going to find out a lot of things this week. When Prove X dropping. Sounds like awesome. Prove X supposed to drop in February. I don't know if Fast Abdul's still out there. He probably knows. But you guys should know. I think it was February that he said we're going to do it. All right. So the window of time is closing here. All right. Bitcoin needs to make its rally if we're going to rally. All right. Otherwise, we got to dance with the devil coming up here. Yeah, summer solstice could be the eruption point. Yeah, I think that's August, right? And that times, I think it is August, right? And that could time out really well. That's what I'm saying. Like we have this bullshit. We go down. Everyone's expecting a lot longer bear, but come in the summer, we start building up and ripping into the fall, catching everybody off guard, starting the next bull run very early. And I've even said this as early as 2024 in my videos. I talked about the bull run coming early in 2027, catching everybody off guard. Some of you guys that have been watching with me for a while, you know what I'm talking about. June 21st. Okay, yeah, so that would be a surprise, right? So we get some bearishness, some flash crashes. Everyone's expecting it to go to Goblin Town and giving you months to accumulate, but we don't. And we get a bunch of sharp flash crashes and then a move back to the upside very quickly, right? We start moving. Oh, look, I have this literally June 1st. It's a move. I drew it on June 1st. What are the chances? So, like, for example, I could slide this over a little bit to July and show you, like, so we get this flash crashes. We're not down there very long. Everyone's expecting lower targets, and then we just fucking go into the fall, into 2027, up into a super cycle, because this will go into 2028 for sure. For a long time. It's going to be really interesting, man. Really interesting shit. But there actually has been a lot of FUD, and I'm actually surprised at actually how good BTC has been holding up, to be totally honest. All right. Let's go look at ETH really quick. All right. ETH is still bullish. It's in a pennant. It's making higher lows in the longer time frames. Okay. This is nothing to necessarily be concerned about, until we break, let's say, like 1600-ish. Okay. The ProveX conference is Friday, February 6th. Man, I haven't had any nicotine. I've been really good, but I need something here. I need something, man. Take an arginine. I could take a little caffeine. I could make like some coffee, but I feel like I'll be up all night. What do you think? How you guys doing out there? Smash that like button. Coffee? I'm really craving coffee. I could just go in the back and smell it right now. I think that would wake me up. I love that. I would love a cup of coffee right now. It's fucking winter, man. It's January. It is so dark outside. I don't even care that it's cold. It's just fucking not sunny, and that's been brutal. We have barely seen any sun since Christmas, and that's been the hard part. Like, I feel like I'm just like never want to not sleep. There's not enough coffee I can drink to stimulate myself. And you guys mentioned Ivan on tech. I think he's from this part of the world, so he probably grew up with it. I did not. I'm like between Miami and L.A. I grew up with sun. And, man, it's brutal. Now I know why a lot of people do go out of town in January. It's probably like the darkest month. It's not even that the days are the shortest. It's just there's no fucking sun, man. If they cream it. Yeah, I like cream the coffee. But, like, it doesn't matter how much I drink. Like, I fucking need some sun. I swear to God. Or Adderall. You guys send me Adderall. Just send me Adderall. I remember in LA we'd get Adderall all the time. But nobody here that I know of has it. It's not like a thing. They actually have meth is huge out here though, but I'm not gonna start microdosing meth. Actually, maybe that's not a bad idea. What do you guys think? Coffee or microdosing meth? We'll go and get some sun. What's stopping you? Where should I go for sun? I have to go to like North Africa. I have to go to Egypt or Dubai. Growing up in Germany, you need to leave end of October and come back after Easter. That's a long time. Actually, December was pretty sunny. I don't care about the cold. I just need the sun. It can be cold, but just give me sun, man. Like when you're in Colorado and it's sunny every day, but it's fucking snowing. It's fine, dude. Cocoa time here. Yeah. Let me run my legs real quick. Let's look at Ethereum. And we'll look at, what do you guys want to look at? Solana, Pulschain? Stay away from the meth because I got nice teeth. I don't have nice teeth. But you can always just get those things that cover your teeth. What do you call them? Veneers. So you do the meth, your teeth fall out, and you just get veneers. Sure, you don't care about the cold. It's minus 26 here in Warsaw. Dude, you're in Warsaw. Bro, Warsaw is awesome. Warsaw is slightly sunnier than fucking Prague. We're almost the same temperature, man. Warsaw and Prague are almost always the same. But I think Warsaw had more sunnier days. I love Warsaw. One of my favorite cities. I don't know if you're in Warsaw. You're in Warsaw, okay. Microdosing. Psilocybin. Actually, you're right. Microdosing mushrooms might even help my TA. I should experiment with that. We do get mushrooms here in Prague. All right. So we are at 23:36. Let me just walk for 1 second. That's going to help. Yeah, sunny day in Warsaw. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I miss Warsaw. I lived in Warsaw for almost a year. I loved it. I'd be there in a heartbeat. But it's harder to get residency there. But Warsaw is amazing, man. You're lucky. I'll be right back. Yes, ma'am. It's Claudia. That's it. Albania's cool. I cycled one into the other. You did? That's awesome, bro. Albania's pretty cool. You're going to Albania next week? Sweet. Yeah, I lived in Tirana for a little bit. I lived in Vlorë, Saranda, Tirana. Tirana was in Tirana for 6 months. That's right. You were born in Warsaw most of my life. Warsaw is amazing, bro. I don't know what you're into and stuff, but I had the best social life, best dating life, best food, just like everything top. Best trainer. best gym. Warsaw is amazing. Don't take it for granted. I don't even have the words to express like how good everything was. My social life, dating life, everything there was just better because it's not a tourist city either. So that's great, right? When you're like a place like Prague, it's just like, yeah, the best girls. Like, it was like amazing, like the best, like hands down. Had the most fun, quality, everything, food, people. Yeah, definitely don't take Warsaw for granted. I just did 15 push-ups. That's kind of helping a little bit. What do you think of Belarus? White people, North Korea? North Korea for white people? I almost got put in prison for 10 years in Belarus. So I'm not going to go into that story on the stream. And it took help from I had to escape. I escaped. That's a long story. I've never told you guys about that. We got help from like the CIA, Black Ops, some politicians from Moscow, underground. There was some tech people, entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley that were going to try to fly me out with a private jet. There was all these like plans, and we had to talk and see. It was crazy, man. Besides what happened to me, which was kind of an accident, I think they thought I was like a drug trafficker or something, which I'm not. I just have like a back injury, and I was traveling with pain medications that are illegal in Belarus. And then I also had film equipment because I was starting to make content, so they didn't know what the fuck I was. Yeah, they were going to throw me into CISO, KGB prison for 10 years. And it was bad. It was really bad. Because they go through your phone, right? They found all my friends at the time I was in LA, so all my friends grow cannabis in Hayfork up in the Emerald Triangle. So I'm up there at Hayfork like every couple months hanging out. And like, so half my phone and my Instagram back then was like me at grows, fields of cannabis, like with a bunch of like, people into psychedelics and stuff. That's why my Instagram was like new. I'd like deleted it and everything. But that really freaked me out. But they saw everything. They could see every message I've ever sent, every picture I've had with a joint, every picture I was, in a field with cannabis. They just totally were like, you are an international drug trafficker. I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not. So I would never go there again, but it was amazing. Like, I get along with these cultures really well. Like, I don't know, like I've lived in Kiev, and I would go to Russia. I don't know if I'd recommend going to Belarus. It's like Dubai. I think you have one wrong thing on you and you could be in a lot of trouble. But it's dark, man. There's an oppressive vibe for sure, but food is amazing and people are absolutely amazing. The nicest people when you're there, The government is crazy, man. Government is crazy. So ETH has potential to go up, absolutely. And I think we've been waiting for this rally for fucking ever. It just keeps getting smacked down. You can spin this TA any way you want to, okay? Because it's so manipulated at this point. You can be a bull or bear, whatever you want to see. And I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck. It's going to go up when the elites want it to go up. That's all I can tell you about Ethereum, okay? They've been holding it down. When we started this bull run, I've been saying since like 2022, 23 that they're, I heard from my friends who are like big traders and also have connections to DC that they were going to crush ETH and destroy altcoins. And they've pretty much done that. They've really suppressed ETH and they destroyed altcoins. And so I'm not going to pretend to say, well, it has to do this and go up from here, because we've seen it so many times be the most bullish you could imagine, and it gets smacked down because that's what they want. So we're going to get this move to the upside when they decide it's time. And they could range this for a long time. I mean, the way I look at this, as long as it stays in this trend line we see going up here, okay, with these lows. So, we had a low down here at $881 back in 2021, a low of $1,400 back in April of 2025. We could come down and touch this again multiple times. multiple times. Can you yeah, they're holding it down. Acid Thunder. Yeah, exactly. So, I'm hard pressed to say like, okay, we're ready to move up. Like, I'm one of the ones who was calling it back in, you can still see my TA line from back then when we broke, when I was like, hey, ETH is in trouble. Is it still there? We deleted it by now. Yeah, no, it wasn't there, was it? Oh yeah, right here, back in December of 2024. So this is very bullish. This whole pennant is very bullish too. But we do kind of have a macro, in a way, a double top in some ways. So coming down here, at least to retest, 1600 makes a lot of sense, and it still keeps us bullish. Now, if that breaks down, we got to go look at lower price targets, right? And which of that, there are plenty of opportunities for ETH to completely fall apart and come down. But I don't think that's what they're trying to do. I think they're really just suppressing it, keeping it in this range. So once again, we could just, for example, come down, if we rally up again, come down, hit this. Everyone's going to go short thinking, and it just comes up and, comes up, smack down again. You know what I'm saying? But see how we would still be staying inside this pennant, right? Do you see what I'm saying? And then finally, at some point, I don't know when that would be, we can run, right? 20, 27, 28. It could do this, what I just drew. And this would be very accurate. Like this looks very believable. If I was a market maker, I might paint this, right? Look at this double bottom, bullish W. We run up, reject it, head and shoulders, crash back down, pull support off this pink line, maybe even like, for example, dump below this a little bit just to really freak people out before we go up. I mean, there's a lot of ways to do this, but this is obviously being kept in some kind of range, right? I drilled oil wells in Siberia in early 2000s. Luke oil head office flew the Israeli flag. That's for all the people that keep saying that Putin wasn't in the Epstein files. I don't know what that means, Yoden, what you just said. I don't know what that means. Team Peacock, cheers chart is so bullish. SW, yeah, man. I'm going to do all coins in the membership. So it's like buying me a cup of coffee and a bite. It's down below. I don't know the full deal. I just kind of signed up for this program through YouTube, so you'll have to tell me how it works or let me know. If you go there, then we can go to the TA videos, and I'll do whatever charts you guys want. Meme coins cause this shit. They're just holding it down. ETH has been chosen. Yeah. So this is one way to look at what I could see happening. Now, I may separately do day trading where we get down to like the 4-hour and the 12-hour, and we look at actually, because that's predictable. Like you can kind of begin to look at this as you get down here at the resolution, and you can have some idea. Like we've hit this 2387, we're being rejected. We'll at least come down to retest. We could pull fibs here, at least down to like 2245. But I don't think any of you are doing that. You guys are trying to get more of a gauge on generally what the market's doing. So, and generally what I am too as an investor, right? So. How would you feel if this happened? Does this affect Pulse Chain, right? And then it breaks out at the end of the bull run in 2027. I mean, that could happen. It could. But also at the same time, we could absolutely, come. Let me just make our way down, hit this, come up, and start to break out right into the fall, right? Any of those could happen. And there's no way you can look at this chart and figure out when that would be, obviously. But I do think this range or this pennant seems to probably will hold up. I mean, if we go by the fact that we've entered it, tested it, then retested again, retested third time, it's holding up. All right, it's holding up. And every time it touches it, it bounces very, very, very strong on a lot of volume. So that's a good sign, right? So maybe we stay in this. But this pennant could last until the 2030s, okay? Like it's a big pennant, all right? it could fucking go for a long time. Like if you think about it, this goes all the way to 2034. My God, I'm just saying. I think ETH will run before there, but I'm just saying, right? We will bottom in April, then we will rally into the summer, and September we crash down and wash out longs for the new bull market. This is what I see. Yeah, Duage, that's pretty much what I was showing on that BTC, and that lines up really well. Makes a lot of sense, right? and meaning that we're not going to have some long outdoor market. It's going to be something quick because flash crashes, and we go into the summer throwing everybody off. Somebody said June something is a solstice or whatever, and that makes a lot of sense. And maybe Pulse Chain starts running in the summer or the fall, by the way. Pulse Chain. No, that's something we talked about. I hope to God he didn't pin the strategy of Pulse Chain's success on Ethereum. And there was a talk he had with this kid who's really smart. Eric Wall, is it? We played the clip with Fast Abdul was here. And Eric it's like the whole, like the great ideas of mice and men, right? Have you guys read that book? Steinbeck? Amazing book, right? And Richard Hart is like waxing poetic about like his grand plan. And when it's ETH 40x and blah, 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 then I'm going to pump Pulse Chain. And Eric Wall is just looking at him. He's like, no, I don't get it. And I think Eric Wall got it, but I think he understood what Steinbeck meant by what he was saying, right? Like you have all these plans, but your plan's contingent on all these other things going your way, middlemen, right? And rarely in life do those things work out. So once again, ETH's going to go up, but we don't know when it's going to go up. And I hope he hasn't pinned his dreams of Pulse Chain on ETH going up, because ETH could just take forever to go up. It could absolutely run. We talked about ETH strategy, and we can do it again in the TA video, but we talked a lot about this, about there's a lot of times when ETH could go up. You can see how big this pennant is. Let's say it stays in this, right? Which I think is pretty likely. This pennant stretches from now, this spring, till 2032 or 2034. Anywhere in there, it could pop out of here, retest, and go. There's no rule of rhyme how long they're going to control this, all right? But they're certainly not going to make it easy for everybody. Great question. So let's go look. We got ETH here. You guys probably want to see Pulse Chain. Got a little bit of green on the charts. A little bit of green. Pulse Chain, 1.3% move. Got a few alts pumping here. We'll go look at that later. So once again, we've hit the 0.0001326, which is what I predicted back in actually it was November of 2024, but the video where I got a good clip of it was January 6th, okay? But I had been drawing that as early as November of 2024. 1326, let's say about here. Was it 1376 or was it 13, whatever, let's see, 13.5, whatever. So this thing is the call I had made. Make this thick and juicy. And you can see we were dancing at it for a long time. All right. And now we're below it, which I said is very likely coming if the market stays bearish. But you can see I drew this trend line coming down here, and we have a lot of confluence. The confluence is meeting up about 5 zeros and an 8. Okay. So just based on trend lines, that seems to be a place we'd get a lot. We get a lot of support, right? In this range somewhere. Hopefully that's just below 0.00001. And let's see what happens. I think since we've now broken and we're going down in the low, I'll consider putting in lower price targets to see what would happen. But right now, there's no reason to think it's going to not hold this trend line coming down, right? So that trend line would be, if it was in February, 0.0000081. But absolutely, we could, keep trickling down it, right? Till we get to like 0.000005 or something like that, right? Even lower than we think. But yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I think we're getting close. I do think I like the theory I have that it's going to be a fast bear market, and it's going to catch a lot of people off sides because they're expecting a long bear market, and I don't think so. I think that we're going to flash crash into the lows. No one's going to think they're the lows because everybody wants lower lows. Nobody will buy it, and we'll end up reversing, and everyone will be like, fuck, that was the low, right? Wherever that ends up being, right? And then this is June right here. So this, I had drawn this right about here, thinking, because this is a big fake out zone. Maybe we go into the summer. You know, psychologically, it would fuck everybody up. Because, by the way, everyone thinks the bear market started here October 2025. You know what? The bear market actually started back here in December of 2024. Okay? I'm going to tell you why for a number of reasons. One, that was the most amount of euphoria. Okay? That was, all coins were going nuts as well. Okay? And all you had is now this would probably be in the TA video, but like where you had an irregular, corrective wave is all you had, right? And it's just like it happens, right? Like it can happen, right? Where you get something like this, and instead of like here, you actually get a higher, wherever that's going to be, which I think could be like here. Let's say, for example, right? So everyone now thinks this was the start of the bear market, October of 2025. And if you think about bear markets, they usually last let's go look at 2021 really quick. I'm probably going in too deep, but just to give you guys an idea, I'll be saving most of this kind of stuff for the TA videos. Like if we think about like this is the FTX collapse, right? So like maybe, we should do it based on falling under the, hang on. Oops. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, yeah. So the FTX collapse. So we'll just measure it. We'll just measure it this way, like really simple. So I guess that would be low. 270. Let's say 220 days. Okay. So a lot of people are going to measure from here. Okay. That would put their bear market at terminating. So 200. Oh, fuck. What is this? Let's go 200. Is there really? God, is time flying like that? Shit. So wait. What? October 25 to June is 220 days. That's it? No. It's time under the 200. Hang on. It's time under here. Yeah, that's your bear market, technical bear market. So let's go here to when you get back above that. What are we doing under the 50? I don't know. We could do them all and see. 546 days. Okay, under the 100 on the weekly. So we fell below the 100. Look, man. Sheesh. Here's where you fell below the 100. If you were to do 550 days, 540 days, you'd be at July of 2027. Damn, bro. Whew. That's why people are saying see you in 2 years, right? Because this would take you, you fell below the 100 just like you did in 2021, and 540 days puts you at July, the summer of 2027, which technically I guess is kind of correct in the sense that, it does line up with the cycles in a lot of ways, but it's scary to think about, right? But we've kind of been in a bear market a lot longer. Let's go from here. Let's just play for 1 second here. So I'm going to take it from, is it that high? Let's go from the first high, man, actually. It's 550 days. 540 days would be what? Dude, June, is that June of 2026? No way. Bro, that lines up with that solstice. It lines up with what I actually drew on the chart. I had no fucking idea. I had no idea. Look, it lines up perfectly with like where I thought maybe the takeoff could be. So if you think about it, and if you start the bear market on October of 2025, which is realistic. I mean, that was the high. You're looking at summer of 2027. But if you start the bear market here, okay, in December of 2024, which I actually think that's when the bear market started, that puts the end of the bear market in June of 2026, which is just fucking 4 months away, 5 months away. Yeah, we were bearish in 2025. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people aren't considering this. They're adding up the fact that we just started the bear market, but I don't think we did. I think we started the bear market a year ago. Does that make sense? That's why I keep saying it's going to be short and we're going to have like maybe flash crashes into this bottom and then we're going to go. We're not going to have some extended bear market because we've been in the bear market. Okay. And what I think is we had this kind of irregular ABC correction. Okay. With an irregular being that the B was higher, which can happen. Okay. And we definitely have the MACD and the RSI agreeing with us in terms of like, the top of the MACD was here. It agrees with me in the sense of like it's 107 ish back in end of 2024. And the MACD was already coming down in October 2025. And RSD was falling apart in 2025 in October. So I think the bear market was already in, and we've been in a bear market, and that would terminate about June of 2026. So we had a lot of, I don't think it's moon math. I think this could actually does make a lot of sense. Okay. So that would mean, if you think about it, this blue line, what's this? September, June. I mean, he could start running pulse chain somewhere there. This is like my random bullish swing to the upside, right? So we need to think about that, and I hope to God that he didn't tie fate a pulse chain to ETH, only because, not because I don't think ETH is going to do awesome numbers, just don't know when, right? And that's the big thing. Like I've been saying, that ETH is being absolutely managed in this range. All of crypto is being managed, and impossible to know when they want to release the cat out of the bag on this one. All right. Pulse chain's looking fine. It's just consolidating down here at 40116. Like I said, I'll be doing more sketches and more of this fine work that I do in the TA videos, which will I be able to do? You guys want to do a TA video tonight? I don't know if anybody even joined. Have you looked up PMI chart? Somi reckons we're close to alt season. I don't believe in that stuff. Okay. I've talked about this before. I know that Raul Paul is a huge a big guy about PMI, and anything that comes out of his mouth is horse shit. So I just don't care. You know why? Because if that was the case, Solana wouldn't have done a 30x. Bitcoin wouldn't have done an 8x. Stocks wouldn't have rallied the fastest and highest moves they made in the history of planet Earth. Explain that to me. Okay, was it PM? Yeah, your PMI. Well, everyone's looking at inflation. Describe GMI. GMI, Global Macro Investor. I mean, yes, I agree with you that when PMI is high, there will be global liquidity. The velocity of money will be in a bullish mode, meaning that people will feel very rich and risk assets will generally be trending up during that time. But there is no correlation between the asset you're in's performance and the PMI, and that's all I need to know. That means I don't give a fuck about it, okay? Am I positioned correctly? Yes or no? Okay. A lot of tokens did unbelievable numbers regardless of the PMI, meaning the PMI should not affect your investment thesis at all whatsoever. All right. If you need it for cope or it makes you sleep good at night, good, man. Take it. But I just have zero interest in it. I don't understand. I guarantee you none of you had ever heard of it before till Raul Paul or whoever started talking about it. Why? Because it's nothing to do with whether your trade's going up or down, whether you're positioned correctly. Okay, tons of stuff went up. We did have an alt season. Just didn't have an alt season for Pulse Chain. If Pulse Chain is relying only on PMI going up, oh man, we got serious problems. If he's completely relying on PMI and Ethereum going up, damn. I mean, when PMI is up, yeah, the risk assets should be up, but doesn't mean anything for you. Like, does that make sense? It shouldn't mean anything for you. Like I said, if you just needed to go to bed, like to hold that and be like, PMI is coming and my assets should be up, and okay, you know, fine, sleep better. All right. But you can see the last 2 years, if you were looking at PMI, you'd have been fucked because tons of stuff went up. You should have been positioned for it. Okay. Meta went up. Why'd it go up? PMI wasn't up. Solana went up. Tons of meme coins went nuts. Meme coins are high beta risk assets. Why did they go up with PMI in the gutter, which it is? Why? Because PMI has nothing to do with anything that matters to you. Okay? You know, sorry. But once again, believe whatever you want to believe. Yeah, I think that's good. We did Pulse, we did Ethereum, we did Bitcoin. I gave you guys my thesis basically on how I think this cycle could play out going forward, which I think, like I said, have a very fast bearish spell here, which I even talked about back in 24-25, and that the next cycle was going to start very quickly, throwing everybody off, and would actually start in 2027, not 2028, right? Because a lot of people are thinking this bear market's going to take us into 2027, but actually we might have a bull market going into 2027, which would be really fucking interesting. All right. I also don't think gold and silver are necessarily topped out. Okay. Let's go really quick. Which means that if silver has another leg up, then it lines up really well with a few more months here of Goblin Town, right? Like, so that would take you into the spring, and it would fall going into the summer, and maybe then you start risk assets get bullish again, like Bitcoin starts really making moves that go into the summer, and maybe that lines up well with the thesis of somebody said some solstice in June too, or whatever. So yeah, that could make sense. And then you'd have this big fake out here, and we get one last push up thrust. Was the liquidity of altcoins high than other alt seasons? Pulse chain does have serious problems. Solana VC crap and meme coins was all that did okay, though. All KOLs pushed them. No, other stuff. Yeah, there was other stuff went. And look at the stock market as well. Okay. But retail needs to be washed with more money. Okay, so yes, PMI being up is a good indicator of that, in the sense that, like, the average person feeling rich. Okay. And so, yeah, that would kick open the casino and more. So, yeah, you can look forward to that at a time when more people than now would be looking for opportunities in things like stocks and or crypto, for sure. Okay. No doubt about it. All right. But you can get 1,000x regardless of that. But yeah, no, I mean, there's a connection with that and people feeling rich. I mean, I'm just kind of shorting it down to that, because that's really what it comes down to. When PMI is up, people feel rich. Why? Because they're printing money now, but you don't have any of it. So when PMI is up, you actually are getting the money. It's finally getting to you. All right. So that's good for risk assets, because when you have that extra money in your pants, people will gamble, they'll try different things, they'll travel. Everything kind of gets that big boost, right? Euphoria. And we're going to have that. Okay. PMI will come back. Maybe it's going to be that 2027 into 2028, which is the Shemitah year. That's when the PMI will go up. But all that I know is that things are going up regardless of it. So why do I need to focus on it? Because I want to make opportunity. I want to catch. I don't want to wait every 8 years or whatever it's fucking for the PMI to go up. I want to find opportunities all the time. So that's why I don't bother with it, because I don't want to limit myself. And I know it doesn't matter. There's always opportunities. Always opportunities. Yeah. Okay. So we can talk about this. Traditional altcoin season, Sunlight, it's a really great point. You said there was no traditional altcoin season. It was like a Bitcoin, Solana, and a few rare meme cycle. Well, no, it's not a few rare. It's a lot of memes, okay? But the thing was, let me get this on the screen. Where is it at? So there's not really a traditional altcoin season. There's only been like a few cycles, but we can say that it wasn't like cycles in the past. Okay. And the reason was a number of things. Okay. We had kind of more traditional altcoin seasons in the past because institutions weren't here creating kind of distribution cycles. So you had like a lot of euphoria. You also didn't have as many tokens as you have now. Okay. So you probably did have a traditional altcoin season. It just didn't feel like it. I hope that makes sense because there's just too many goddamn fucking tokens. And when you say traditional, if you mean like a broadband altcoin season where everything goes up, it's not really possible. If everything went up, everything would just go up a little bit. And I think we're still going to have a situation where a lot of things will go up when, let's say, the PMI is at its highest. Okay, no doubt about it. So maybe that's 2027, 2028. Maybe we have a broader-based altcoin season, but I don't think it's going to be like what you saw in 2021. There's just too many projects. You know what I mean? And a lot of mainstream alts, yeah, they didn't. You had to be selective because there's just too many damn tokens. You had a massive meme coin season. I mean, that was B Roots and all them were really into it, and Paul Shane, Paul Shane memes were going nuts. We had Tangang, but in the rest of crypto, yeah, memes were going nuts, man. Not just on Solana, on a lot of chains. Okay. And you had to know which ones were running because we didn't have what's called like traditional or what I call a broad-based altcoin season where everything, the money could be spread out because there's just too many tokens. There's too many tokens, and the game is just getting a lot more ruthless, and people are smarter, okay, as well. So they're trying to be more strategic, which just creates like this like more targeted approach. Right now, you couldn't throw money at anything, and you won't be able to throw money at anything going forward. I think you're still going to need to know how to position yourself because if everything goes up, everything might just go up a little because there's so much now. So, you know, to get those real wins, you still need to understand that the narrative is incentive token or the narrative is XRP or the narrative is blah, 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 privacy, right? ProveX, right? And then you can go for like, you know, 100x, 1,000, whatever, some of those big gains. It may still be more selective in 2028, 2027, 28 because it's just the nature of it. All the fucking projects. I mean, mainstream alts, really. Cool. All right. Who wants to do a TA video? I can start one up right after this, and we can go through some altcoins and stuff. Let's see. How does this work? Let me see how this works. All right, cool. Awesome. No, it's important. What's important? Narratives don't exist without macro. Macro doesn't exist without liquidity. ISM is an indicator of that liquidity. Your TA do 914. Your TA doesn't matter without liquidity, so don't disregard it. Yeah, liquidity matters, but you have liquidity in certain places, okay? You're asking for liquidity everywhere. Is that what you're saying? Well, you shouldn't have to wait for that to make gains. Like, that's silly, right? I already considered that. I explained to you because I understand what the ISM is. And yes, the liquidity will be at its highest then. And you're telling me your token needs that to do well? You need to rethink your investment thesis, man, if you absolutely need that. That means you're so fragile and you're so out there on the risk fucking, spectrum that literally you need the ISM to be up for you to do well. Good luck surviving, man. Good luck. You should be looking for opportunities and finding them everywhere. Like, we had 2024, we had PDI, we had Atropa, did unbelievable numbers. They didn't care about ISM. Or, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter, man. But in terms of just broad base where just everything goes up blindly, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get that again. It'd be cool, but it may not be that easy going forward. It may definitely be harder. The game's definitely harder. There's no doubt about it. But that's not a bad thing, right? If you can catch the narratives and you have good people around you, or you're following good good channels and good people, you'll understand where the good narratives are and where the stuff is. Look, my channel was talking about PDI and Atropa and back from 2023 or 2024, like some of my first videos, right? How did I know that? I mean, I was just research, doing my work, figuring out that I think these are going to be strong narratives, right? And those did unbelievably. And yeah, if you guys want, come to the TA stream. We'll look at all the altcoins. And otherwise, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow because I think I'm going to do a stream and cover that Tom Billo video. That should be cool. Do a reaction video on that. All right, pups. We'll talk soon. Thank you for the likes. We'll see you soon. Night.